Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video we will understand what are the variables and later we will understand what is a data type and also look at different kind of a data types. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now, before we move on to understand our data types and the variables, let us look at this sample form. All right. So as you can see on the screen, it has various fields like the first name, last name, gender, the date of birth, phone number, email, and the various fields of the address, right? So different kind of fields have expect you to input some different kind of a data. Like for the first name you enter something which is like consisting of only alphabets, right? And for the date of birth it might contain just the number and the hyphen. And similarly for the phone number you just need to enter your numeric phone numbers, right? And for the email you have the mixture of your alphabet and some special characters like the at the rate and dot. And similarly for the zip or the postal code you just need to enter your numeric data, right? So keeping this in mind, and we'll look at what are the variables. All right, now let us understand what is a variable. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, I have written some text inside the main method like the first name, last name, gender, email, and the phone number. And these are nothing but simply the names of the various fields in that form, right? So as you enter data for each and every field, it needs to be stored somewhere, right, in the memory, right? And you just minded that when I'm talking about the memory, I'm talking about the volatile memory like the RAM and not the storage space like the hard drives. Okay, so there is a difference between the memory and the storage, and so don't be confused about that. Okay, and so as I told you, need to store your data in the memory, right? But you know that computer understands only the binary format. So technically a piece of computer memory can be represent something like this, right? 0 0 and 1 and like this, and as you can see, it's very difficult to represent data in the binary format. So programming languages make it very easy. So instead of this format, we can just write the provide the name for that each memory location, right? So instead of zeros and ones you just write the first name, the last name, the gender, and your data whatever you enter will be simply stored in that memory location, right? So what are variables? If I could say, variables are simply the named representation of the memory location, right? So first name will have some sort of a data, like if I write this, first name equals to, and if I write this and I'll put Gaurav, so my Gaurav data is stored inside the first name memory. All right, and so on we can do it for the other fields as well. So variables are the names of the memory location in the human readable form. All right. Now let us dive into the data types, right? So in programming, data types determine the value our variable can contain and the operation that can be performed on it. Like we can add data types which are of integer to find the sum, right? And adding the data type in front of the variable, like this is the first name, adding the data type in front of a variable is what makes Java a strictly typed language, right? You should remember this. All right, now let us try to run this program, right? So in order to run this program, this every line is a statement, right? Within a main method, this string first name and this is a statement. And as you know that every statement ends with a semicolon. So I'll add semicolon to the end of each and every lines, right? And that's done. Now we'll try to print each and every variable. So we'll call it system dot out dot println and we'll call the variable names, right? So we'll have the first name, and similarly we'll copy paste this, and so after first name we have the last name, the gender, the email ID, and your phone number, right? So I'll change this to last name, and then we have the gender, email, and my phone number, right? So phone number. Now let us save this program, right? Now let us try to compile and run this program. So I'll type java c test.java, right? And as you can see, my program has compiled successfully. Now I will run this program. So I'll call java test, right? So we have successfully printed our variables, all right? Now let us look at the different type of data types, right? So data types can be classified into two types, the primitive data type and the non-primitive data type, or simply the reference types, right? So if you look under the primitive data type, we have the boolean type and the numeric type, right? So boolean type is something which has only two values, like the true, false, 0, 1, right? And in numeric types have something which is including numbers, right? And again, in under numeric type we have the integral type and the floating point type, right? So integral types don't include any decimal numbers, while the floating point include the decimal numbers, right? And for again, under the integral type we have the character type and the integer types, right? So we will look at them in great detail in our next videos, right? So that is it from the today's video. And also please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. All right. And if you have any problem, you can definitely comment below and I'll be happy to help you out. So see you until next time.